What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to episode 6 of Listen, Learn, Evolve. And today I'm going to be telling you why you should never be afraid of public speaking, which sounds crazy because it's the second most fearful thing behind dying for most people, but it's crazy. So I'm going to tell you a little story about when I had to do my first sort of big boy public speaking gig a couple years ago. Some of you may have seen this story already, but I had to fly down to Florida for a conference that involved an enormous amount of people who had been working for what was basically my entire life in the marketing field. And I had to stand in front of a group of 75 or 100 of these VPs and CMOs and whatever and try to teach them something about digital marketing. And at the time, I was genuinely pretty terrified that I had to go and stand in front of this group. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, I've been alive since they graduated college, and that's pretty much it. And how on earth am I ever going to teach these people something, and they know way more than I do, and they're just going to be kind of cross-armed, sitting back, wondering why on earth I was chosen to go up there and talk to them, and sort of dismiss everything I say. And there were all of these negative thoughts running through my head, and I was nervous. I was chugging water. I was pacing back and forth. I didn't really know what to do or who to talk to, and I was just kind of rehearsing my slides over and over and over again in my head, hoping that I wouldn't get up there and just completely screw up and bumble over my words. But when I got into the room, I had about 5 minutes before I had to start presenting, a weird thing happened. I started making sort of awkward, nervous small talk with a lot of the people in the room, asking what they were expecting, hoping that they would tell me, not expecting much, and then I'd be able to kind of fly through this. But I often found that just about everyone I talked to was super excited to hear what it is that I had to say. And that was kind of a weird feeling because it made me realize that, okay, they're not here because they have to be, they're here because they want to be. And then I have an opportunity to really provide some value to the people in this room. And like I mentioned, if you saw the story that I posted earlier, I got up there and I presented all the slides in the way that I wanted to, and everything went very smoothly, and that was cool. But the real benefit for the entire event was when we got to a Q&A section. And that was a really awesome experience because I really got to interact with these people in the audience who weren't these mean cross-armed people judging my knowledge or lack of knowledge or whatever it is that I was afraid of, but they were actually asking my opinion on what it is that I was presenting, trying to get some help, trying to solve some problems that they had been running into that they couldn't get to. And the ability to stand there and help people in real time and provide the value that they were hoping that they were going to get out of something like this was a really cool experience. And it made me realize that 99% of the time, if you're asked to public speak or you have to get up in front of someone and say something, at least in the professional world, they're there listening to you because they want to be, and they're looking for some insight into how they can make their lives easier or solve a problem or find a different way to go about something that maybe without this presentation or talk they wouldn't have thought of. So the next time you're up in front of a stage full of people and you're wondering if they're judging you, there's probably a few that are. There's always a couple bad apples, but you have to remember that most people are there to get some value out of what it is that you have to say. They're there to learn from you. They're there to go home, apply what you said, see if they can't make your life easier. And the more that you can help them, the better things they're going to have to say, the more opportunities you're going to have to go out there and do the same thing over and over again for new people. And I mean, what more could you ask for? You get to help people doing something that you know how to do really well and potentially just make their lives easier. That's awesome. So next time you're asked to public speak, remember, they're there because they want to be. You're there to help them. As long as you do that, it's going to be fine. Have a good one.